All right, for a moment. Yes, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are. This is your Sir Jules and Lucio Van Scopite. We will be discussing the scope and delimitation of the study concerning the practical research 2 of your research. So right now, this is dated October 12 to 16. You have a duration of 5 days to finish the scope and delimitation of the study, and this is per group and not individual. So this definitely is a lecture video to assist and to further explain to you how we're going to do it and what's the concepts and ideas that we will be dwelling on. So first and foremost, it's very important again that I'd like to point out these ideologies of pedagogical educational ideologies. Now, in order to define the scope and delimitation, we will use the lens of inductive method to explore its nature. Now we have inductive and deductive. Let's go for the first part, inductive. We provide the example, and then after examples, we will definitely and gradually tell you the rules, the definition, and the idea. This is what happened to the SOP of the previous video I created. This time we also have deductive, by which we provide the rules, definitions, and idea, and after telling the rules, we tell the example. This time we are going to use inductive lens to understand the scope and the limitation of the study. So basically, we will begin here. Inductive, I will be providing two possible examples concerning the scope and the limitation. After realizing some of the examples, we will go into its rules and definitions and the idea by defining the term scope and the limitation of the study. Now let's immediately begin. Scope and delimitation of the study. We have here a title, Computer Games and the Academic Performance of the Senior High School Students. That is titled, this is research coming from Zamboanga City, from a particular school in Sinunok Senior High School, in South National High School in Baliwasan, somewhere in Zamboanga. Now, let's look and try to dissect this example. Sample 1, it says here. This is an example of scope and delimitation of the study. This study was limited to the students of Sinukdok Senior High School, Southcom National High School, Baliwasan Senior High School, whose academic performance were affected by playing online games for the school year 2016 and 2017. The participants in the studies are the students in the mentioned school. This was conducted during the sorry for the error, semester of the school year 2016-2017. Now, when we look at the scope and delimitation, it defines to what specific area, people, and objective, what are they trying to point out here. Now, that's an obvious truth about scope. Now, let's try to see another one. Here comes a title, Effects of Playing Online Games to the Academic Performance of the Students, coming from the research in the Novaliches, Quezon City of grade 7 and grade 8. Now, sample 2. It says here, the scope of our study is for finding the effects of playing online games to the academic performance of the students. The study is delimited only for the grade 7 and 8 students in St. Joseph College of Novaliches Incorporated. The main purpose of our study is to point out the effects of playing online games and aims are determining whether playing online games hinders their accomplishments in their homework. The study only focuses on the online games and its relation to the academic performance of the selected students. That is the delimitation. However, the limitation, the study excludes or disregards the effects of online games to their behavior. Meaning to say, ang tinitignan nila, ano ang epekto ng online games sa academic performance. At hindi nila tinitignan kung anong epekto ng online games sa kanilang behavior. So, dinefine nila kung anong eksaktong direction nila at sinabi rin nila kung saan sila hindi magdadwell. And that is when we realize that they will dwell on the effect of online to the academic performance and not in the behavior. So, ibig sabihin, here is the online affecting the academic performance. But they're not going to see the behavior. Meron bang affect ang online at behavior? Wala. Pero ang titignan, online games tsaka academic performance. So they are going to dwell on this part. But on the part of behavior, they will not dwell there. And that is the limitation of the study. So dinefine ang kanyang scope of delimitation. Ngayon, let's try to define ano ba ang scope and delimitation of the study. Sabi ng definitions natin from various research and guidelines from the base on academia, ResearchGate, and various books that I've been reading, the scope of the study explains the extent to which the research area will be explored. O, di ba? Explain the extent to which the research will be explored in the work and specifies the parameters. Ibig sabihin ng parameters, saan siya magdudwell lang, anong lugar siya, anong specific area lang siya magdudwell within the study will be operating. So again, specifies the parameters within the study will be operating. So sabi nito, dinedefine niya kanyang boundary. So there's always the repetitive kind of thing in the research. Now, basically, this means that you will have to define what the study is going to cover. So anong i-cover ng study nyo? Ano ang kanyang i-dwell? Ano ang kanyang i-hit? Now let's go back. Cover and what it is focusing on. Similarly, you will also have to define what the study is not going to cover. Dito mo rin i-mention ano yung area niyang hindi i-cover. This will come under the limitations. Generally, the scope of a research paper is followed by its limitation. So anong ibig sabihin yan? Followed by its limitation. Let's go back to the example. Andito sa baba, sabi niya, ang study ay magpo-focus sa online games and its relation to the academic performance of the selected students. But it will not dwell. The study excludes the effect of online games to their behavior. So, minention niya yung kanyang limitation, yung hindi niya kayang gawin. Okay, so that's the meaning of this one, followed by its limitation. Now, let's again try to read this completely. Tuloy-tuloy. Again, the scope of the study explains the extent to which the research area will be explored in the work and specifies the parameters within the study will be operating. Basically, this means that you will have to define what the study is going to cover and what is focusing on. Similarly, you'll also have to define what the study is not going to cover. This will come under the limitation. Generally, the scope of a research paper is followed by its limitation. Now, let's further try to deepen that. So try to dwell and try to pause for a while and reread again this particular paragraph and try to absorb its concept that's trying to tell us. Now, in your module, if I may exit this, I want to open your module on 456. Now let's go to the page of your module. If you have your module right now, I recommend that if you open that, if possible, if you have it, as I was opening my screen. So this is my screen. Now due to this, okay, let me just open it for a moment and this will take me some time. Okay, so it's loading for a moment. Okay. Now here is the module. I think this is, if I may try to locate this is in the page 7 of 17. This is from the week 456 referring to the second batch module. In the second batch module, here comes page number 7, go there directly. Okay. Doon, we provided another set of an explanation of this. This definition is coming from a particular book. Okay. Now, by the way, before I proceed, writing the scope of delimitation, there are many formats on how to do it. But it's very good to follow a particular format by an author. And this is coming from the book of the Practical Research 2 for Senior High. Now, here comes here. Let's try to understand. Let's go back to the PowerPoint first. Okay. Balikan natin siya. Let's try to check it out. Ito. In your module, it defined there is some area. Here comes the two boxes. I hope that you can see that in the module right now that you're holding. In this section, describe the parameter of your research. This pertains to the following. What is the topic and focus of the study? Research participants, research population, trade, sex, race, socioeconomic status, profession, etc. When we say participants, you will describe who are they. These are people who are, you try to give adjectives and describe who are they. You do not just simply say that these are senior high school students, but you would tell us that these are grade 12 senior high school, of which they are studying in particular institutions, and blah, blah, blah. If you are speaking with a particular farmer, if you're pertaining to a particular group of tribes or community, you will describe that, for example, this is our respondents are the Igorots, of which they've been living in the mountains of the Cordillera for a long time, years already. And their culture, in the rich culture of values of Inayan, the values of family orientation has been very evident in their daily living. Now, this is our participants because they have this kind of unique traits, behaviors, and attitudes that we would like to delve in and understand. O, diba? You are trying to describe them in a way that you have a different attack of language and trying to describe a particular respondent. And after telling us who are these people, you will tell us these people are living in the land of in the mountainous areas of Cordilleras, dubbed as the playgrounds of gods. It's called playground of crowds. It's called playground of gods, it's because the mountains can touch the skies and the clouds would kiss in the mountains, and the sea of clouds are there. And so this is a rich culture of they have farming and like this and like that. The place has an economic blah blah like this. It's a booming industry. Cordilleran is should we say a very very rich in culture like this like this. You describe the site as well. So you tell us some at least not exaggerating but at least give us just a short previews that are factual and truth. Okay. And you would tell us the time frame of the research. Meaning to say, you would tell us that the duration of this research will there on a particular day. You would just say that this will cover from. This is when you assume, okay? You assume yung mga datas dito. You assume yung mga time frame. Assuming lang naman. So try to assume possible time frame that you will be doing the research. So you will tell us that this research will dwell only on the academic school year 2020-2021 from August 2020 to May 2021, and you tell us when and that's the duration of the research. Further, you will tell us the methodological limitations. You will tell us that this cannot further explain, this cannot delve into, this cannot do this one, mga ganyan. Now, you may use the following key phrases in writing this section such as, now if you try to your module, nakasulat doon, the coverage of the study will dwell on. The research is limited this research to this particular idea. The study covers this particular idea. The study does not cover that is the limitation. The study is focused on. The study is limited to. These are just possible words that you use. Now, as you can see, bakit disarrange? Sino bang nauna, sino bang huli? It doesn't matter kung sinong nauna, sinong nahuli. But all the time, laging nahuhuli kung ano ang kanyang limit. Basta present the important details in a way that we can understand that. Now, further, sabi niya sa definition dyan sa module nyo, the scope of the study in the thesis or research paper contains the explanation of what information or subject is being analyzed. So the scope of the study in the thesis or research paper contains the an explanation of what information is or subject is being analyzed. So you tell us what is being understood, what is being hit, what is being directly researched. It is followed by an explanation of the limitation of the research, and research usually limited its scope by sample size, time, and geographic area. Geographic area is the place, gaano kalayo, gaano ka-wide ang lugar na yan. Geography. While the delimitation of the study is a description of the scope of the study, delimitation kung saan siya magdudwell, ito ang kanyang scope. Ang kanyang scope, ang kanyang range, or ang kanyang coverage. It will explain why definite aspects of a subject were chosen and why others were excluded. It also mentioned the research method used as well as the certain theories that apply to the data. That being said, on the definition, sometimes that is very complicated. I'd like you to dwell very much and read it very carefully again. That in the delimitation, you tell us you do not usually tell reasons, but you will tell us factual informations behind every concept that you are inserting there. So that's the concept of scope and delimitation of the study. Now, this scope on delimitation of the study is done per group, not individual. So I made an announcement that the scope of the limitation should be done per group. Okay? Now, let's try to proceed here. I think I posted this in your various GC. KCP institutional format, we are aligned there. TVL, first semester, August to December 2020. This is your solution. Right now, we have to tell you, where are we right now? Are we doing really something? Yes, it is. We have here a particular roadmap. Now, we are actually dwelling on Chapter 1. Introduction po tayo ngayon, Senior High. Introduction is composed of background of the study, statement of the problem, scope and delimitation, conceptual and theoretical framework, and paradigm of the study. We're hitting 4. Right now, we are done with background of the study. Some of you have submitted, and statement of the problem, some of you already have submitted. And that is both. Both of the 2 decagons are individuals. Again, the background of the study is individual. The SOP or statement of the problem is individual. Now, if we go to the scope and delimitation of the study, that is now per group, including the conceptual and theoretical framework. Per group yan. And followed by the paradigm of the study. And that's another per group yan. Okay. So, sir, ano pong tinatapos natin ngayon? Yung naka-green right now. Yan ang ating tinatapos. Sir, ano pong next na tatapusin kapag natapos na yan? This is now in the paradigm of the study. This will be issued on the 4th batch of your module in the 2nd semester, in the 2nd quarter. Ibig sabihin, gagawa na kayo ng paradigm of the study, research design, population and locale of the study, data gathering tools, data gathering procedures, and treatment of data. Dito na tayo magdodwell. Dito na tayo mga pag-iisipan natin at i-dissect natin kung ano mga paraan on how we're going to do it. And how we're going to do that, for example, decagon number, this one, decagon paradigm of the study. I will be providing guidelines on how to do that in the module or issued on the 4th quarter. Next, research design. I'll be providing several research designs. Next, population and locale of the study. I'll be providing a definitions and guidelines. Next, data gathering tools. I will provide another one. Data gathering procedures. I will provide another one. Data treatment of data. I will provide another definition of that. That's how are we going to do the research. So it is we're following a particular roadmap. Right after that, we're able to fulfill Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Next semester, referring to second semester, ito na. KCP Institutional Format TVL second semester, January to May 2021. Ito na ang ating gagawin. Evaluation checking. You'll be having a first defense of the research proposal. Now, do not be afraid when I say you first defense. This defense is not very comprehensive. It's just a re-evaluation and re-checking again of your research. And then here comes the reconstruction and renovation. Ibig sabihin, kapag nag-defense kayo at may mga pagbabago, doon natin gagawin dito. Gagawin natin sa decagon number 3, 4, and 5. So, kapag sa first defense, isinalang ang research nyo at may mga bagay na kailangan palitan, ito na, gagamitin natin yung 3 decagons as the time and opportunity to review and reconstruct and renovate. Ibig sabihin ng renovate to repair some of the areas that we need to repair. And that will be done for 3 decagons. After repairs have been done, let's proceed now on the data gathering procedures, data gathering. And after the data gathering has been said and done, we will now proceed on the presentation. And then after presentation, followed by the analysis, and followed by analysis, interpretation of data. And followed by that is the conclusion, chapter 4, recommendation, chapter 4, evaluation, chapter 4, and we have the finalization, confirmation, and settlement, chapter 4. And finally, the final defense. Right after the final defense, we will be finally printing them all together. So yan ang coverage ng research. That's how it will work to all of you, to all of our dear students. So ganyan ang setup ng ating research. And I hope that this roadmap is very clear to us. So I hope that I am able to give you at least more confidence on what are we now. Now, as of the decagons here, front page, approval sheet, acknowledgement, table of contents, sa huli na natin yan gagawin kasi hindi pa siya necessary right now. Hindi pa buo yung ating research. Okay? So, I am sorry, I'm supposed to stream this at 1 p.m. but I was actually tasked to accommodate the pick-up sa baba, sa aming pick-up. I'm the person in charge pala, I'm scheduled, so I have to attend to that. So there are many students and classmates of yours who came to pick up the third batch module lang naman. Okay? Now, should there be any other clarifications there, at least feel free to call me or chat me, okay? Please use the Jules and Lucio Copite as a communication tool for the research. You will no longer use my personal account, okay? So to separate that from the academic affairs and personal academic affairs that I am using. So this is your third batch, week 4, 5, 6, second batch, module. O yan. So, yan. Ito lang. Ang gagawin nyo lang is yung activity 15. Yan. This is individual. You will submit this, actually. You will submit this individually. Again, you will submit this individually, pero yung per group nyo, isasubmit nyo as a group, yung concerning sa research nyo. Okay, so again, I think I'm making myself clear here. Ito, individual. You will just identify here, here is a part of a paragraph, and identify what is the topic, what is the participant, what is the site, and the time frame of the research. Just identify that here. Ngayon, iba na naman yung isasubmit nyo na ito, yung per group kayo. Ayan. Pinag-group ko kasi yun I think I'm able to put that as a per group. We are referring on the particular area of this one. The scope and delimitation. That is per group. You will submit that as a group. Okay? Per group yan, ha? You will submit that per group. Now, let's go back on the other presentation. Sir, what exactly is, are we going? Okay. Oh, this is, ayan. This one. Ito specifically, sabi ko, conceptual framework. Ito pala, scope. Scope and delimitation of the study, that is per group. So, gawa kayo ng scope and delimitation of the study ng buong title nyo. So, you will collaborate together. So, as you do that, you also do the individual activity. So, parang dalawa yung task within the week. Okay? Now, the division here is per group. So, again, the background of the study, individual. The SOP, individual. Scope and delimitation per group. Conceptual framework per group. Now, saan po namin isusulat? If handwritten, write this in a one-note sheet of intermediate pad paper. Submit this on the given date of submission. If encoded, use MS Word of any version. Now, let me first emphasize this one, this particular. Can I emphasize this for a moment? I think this is very important that I'd like to point out. Ayan. To many of you who submitted in my personal account, Jules and Lucio Vance Copite, I have received and saved them. In the next activities, use the second newly created account. Use Jules and Lucio Copite to submit your encoded activities. Use the second newly created account to communicate with me to separate this from my personal and academic affairs. As much as I want, I have decided that we will no longer use Canvas network. Ginagamit po ng University of Cordilleras ito. Google Classroom, most universities. Microsoft Teams, most universities and schools. Schoology, Edmodo is used by many private institutions. Now, we will not use that because of due to its data usage and complexity in its mga icons, of which we have to orient you how to do it. Though I know how to manipulate them, but on your behalf, it will be difficult again because they have to tell you how to do it. Now, that will be burden on you, so we will decide not to do that. Now, we will only use the Facebook to communicate, share posts, announce important details. And that is when you have to add the name, this one, Julsen Lucio Copite. It is this one. Julsen Lucio Copita. This is the second newly account and add that, okay? So that we can share announcements there. So I hope that I am making myself clear. Should you have any additional questions, please feel free. I remember a while ago somebody said, "Sir, kailangan bang mag-pass kami weekly?" Hindi naman. You pass all of your activities at the end of this month on October 26 to 30. All on that part, dun kayo magsasubmit only. Okay? Doon lang kayo mag-submit. So, this is stream ko yan. Pasensya na kung ang bilis-bilis ng mga discussions natin. Bilis-bilis ng mga pagkakaano. Pero try to comprehend and understand them. And definitely, we will just be assisting you all throughout. Okay? Apologize and we hope that you can do your best. Right now, we understand the burden that you have. And as much as we want to understand that, we're also trying to find ways on how to reduce the burden that you have. So I hope that we share the same understanding. We appreciate so much your hard work, your dedication, and your passion for education. You're doing exactly the right thing for this country. We are exactly doing the right thing for this land of which you have promised you were born in this Pearl of the Orient Sea. So congratulations of that if you are still on fire and you're still fighting for this one. So ipaglaban ng bayan, okay? So I think that would end my presentation. Thank you very much. I will be seeing you soon again in the next presentation.